In this video, we're going to construct and use an equation to solve a word problem. Here's the word problem. 3/5 of a number is -54. What is the number? In order for us to build an algebraic equation and solve to find the number, it's helpful to know that certain key words in the number sentence, 3/5 of a number is -54, are going to imply certain mathematical operations. For example, 3/5 of a number. In algebra, of often implies multiplication. The number is our unknown. We don't know the value of the number yet, so let's call it x. 3/5 of a number is. In algebra, is often used to imply equals. So I have 3/5 times x equals -54. In algebra, we generally write our coefficient directly in front of the variable without putting the operation symbol in between. So I'll write 3/5 times x as 3/5 x. And this is understood to mean 3/5 times x. So here's my equation. 3/5 x equals -54. Now I need to solve for x to get the value of my unknown. To solve this equation for x, my goal is to get x by itself on one side of the equation and everything else on the other. In other words, I'm going to isolate x to determine the value of my variable. We can do this by using what are called inverse operations. On the left, I have 3/5 times x. The inverse of multiplication is division. Multiplication and division are inverse operations. What this means is that in order for me to move my fraction 3/5 from the left side of the equation to the right side of the equation, I need to divide both sides of my equation by 3/5, like this. If I have 3/5 x equals -54, I use my property of inverses to divide the fraction 3/5 on both sides. Any number divided by itself equals 1, which is how we can cancel out 3/5 divided by 3/5. That leaves us with x equals -54 divided by 3/5. However, you might recall that when you have a whole number divided by a fraction, or a fraction divided by another fraction, you have something called a complex fraction, and we can't divide those directly. So what we need to do is to turn this division problem, x equals -54 divided by 3/5, into a multiplication problem. And here's how we do it. We turn our division problem into a multiplication problem by multiplying the fraction 3/5, flipping it to its reciprocal and multiplying that by -54. In other words, we're going to keep -54. We're going to flip the fraction 3/5 so that it is 5/3. And we're changing our sign from division to multiplication. From here, we can cross cancel. -54 divided by 3 equals -18. Now we're left with negative 18 times 5, which works out to negative 90. So our question asks, 3/5 of a number is negative 54. What is the number? And the answer to that question is x, our unknown, is now a known value, and it's equal to negative 90.